talking about a game called Rapping Rabbit. It already sounds so dumb.
Is it anything like Parappa the Rapper?
It's made by the guy who made Parappa the Rapper.
Of course.
But I guess he doesn't own the rights to Parappa. That's something completely different, is that a lot of people, I guess a lot of video game companies, like the people leave their companies, but then like the character they're most famous for, they'll just make like a fake version of it and just make the same game.
A knockoff?
Yeah, but like since it's video games, it's hard to say it's a knockoff because like, you know, there's genres. Like you can't say it's a knockoff just because it's another platformer, right? And maybe both of the platformers have a character that has a gun. You know, that's not crazy. You know, there's all kinds of games like that. But maybe they're half robot, the main character, and his arm is a gun. But yeah, there's a lot of games like that. Sure. And maybe they have to fight 8 bosses in each iteration of their series. I mean, that happens all the time. And maybe his creator has also created him a half brother and used to be friends with the main villain. But that could be any game I'm talking about.
Sounds a lot like Mega Man.
No, it's Mighty Number 9, which was funded on Kickstarter by the guy, by Kaiji Inafune, the person who made the Mega Man series what it is. But he left Capcom, who owns Mega Man, and that's how he made that completely new and different game, Mega Mighty Number 9.
He couldn't come up with something different, like.
No, but that's the problem. Like
that's what people want from him.
We want more Mega Man games, and Capcom's like, no. So Kaiji
can't do that.
So Kaiji Inafune, the guy who works on all the, I don't know, like if he left the company or if Capcom fired him or something. Yeah. But basically, like, what's he gonna do? He's the guy who makes all the Mega Man games. They're like, we're not making Mega Man games anymore. Can I leave then? Fine.
I'm making on my own.
Make my own Mega Man game with blackjack and hookers. You haven't found that secret room in Mighty Number 9 yet?
Secret level.
So that's basically what all companies do now is make knockoffs of the games they already made. But that's what people want. Like I can't say that's a bad idea. I mean, it's not like they're remaking games that were terrible and nobody wants. These were great games. Mega Man.
Classics.
Another one is Yooka-Laylee, is like the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. There's a game called Bloodstained, which is like the spiritual successor to Castlevania from the Castlevania guy. And then now we have Rapping Rabbit, which is the spiritual successor to Parappa the Rapper being kickstarted. And these things get funded. Like, if you want a video game to get funded on Kickstarter, the most successful Kickstarters, the ones that made like the most money, are like reboots to old, already popular things.
Yeah, well, like same thing happened with Mystery Science Theater. It was something that everybody loved, and so it wanted to come back.
And now every episode costs like $500,000 to make. Well, no, I don't know how many episodes were in the first season, but I know they made $6 million on Kickstarter.
Damn.
And that's why the effects are so incredible this season.
Sure.
Do you think they had that problem, Mystery Science Theater? Like, well, we have this budget, but we can't make it look like we have this budget.
Because they didn't have the technology yet?
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't make, like, I don't think anything they're doing, except maybe hiring more prominent comedians and actors and stuff. Like, besides that, and probably the intro looks like it because it's so big now. Like, they probably had to hire some Hollywood people to, like, build their little models and stuff. Like, in the old days, it looked like Joel did everything. He built the robots and the set himself. Yeah. And it's not like they had to really step it up. did they have to rebuild the robots?
Probably. It looks like it, no? You don't think they're like, or at least refurbished?
Just dusted them off. All right, what were we talking about? Oh, Rapping Rabbit. And Kickstarter campaigns, I guess, generally. But, yeah, I'm not sure how close Rapping Rabbit is to being funded, but I just, like, I'm all flip-floppy on the idea, you know?
Why?
Like, I want that nostalgia. I want something that's as fun as Parappa the Rapper again, but I don't think a Rapping Rabbit is going to do it. The one thing that gives me hope is this game is not only being made by the guy who made Parappa the Rapper, but also the guy who made Guitar Man. And
Guitar Man.
Well, it depends on who you listen to, because the game says it both ways.
Couldn't make up a sign.
No. But anyway, in Guitar Man, that game is like really, really, really fun. And I would go as far as to say is Guitar Man is more fun than Parappa. Like, Parappa's like probably more memorable and came out sooner. It was like the first like rhythm game. Parappa and Jammer are both great games, but like they have the where, you know, my part and your part, my part, then your part. So you're never like really, really playing for a long segment.
You're not fully engaged the whole time.
Because you have to watch and memorize, then you have to react. So it's like a more of a back and forth.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm hoping that no matter what happens, the guy who made sure that Guitar Man was fun, like he wanted to make sure it was a fun game and not just a music game. So hopefully, if anything goes off the rails, he'll be like, wait a minute, this game's not fun. We gotta do something about this. Because sometimes games aren't fun, and like nobody stops it.
They're too busy just trying to make it.
Look at all these cutscenes, though. Yeah, but who cares?
Do you actually do anything in the game?
Yeah, you swing the sword. And then it triggers the cutscene. I have high hopes. But I also had high hopes for all the other reboots or spiritual successors, I guess you would call them, that have been coming out. The first one that made it was Mighty Number 9, when we're talking about to start, and that one got pretty middling reviews. And middling is bad when the whole reason you got funded is because everyone thinks you're going to make the greatest game ever.
Yeah.
You know? Like, no one wants to fund a average game. So, like, that could cause, like, that causes a lot of backlash right there. Like, but that's the problem. That's why I don't kickstart things.
You don't want to be let down?
Well, it's just like, hey, do you want to invest in my business? You'll only get one product out of it. So you want me to pay you for an item you're going to attempt to make in the future? Sounds like a brilliant deal to me. So, like, at the same time that these companies, like, are failing to, like, deliver on their Kickstarter products, like, Mighty Number 9 wasn't as great as it could have been or should have been. But I don't feel bad for the people that paid for it either. They could have waited till a review came out.
Shit dealing with happiness and living a good life.
What? I told you to get happy. It didn't work?
Surprisingly, no.
I'm all out of ideas. Oh, that reminds me though. I was scrolling through Twitter and someone reposted like some sort of like, how do you say, like sentimental kind of thing? Like, you know, like work hard and don't let anyone stop you from achieving your dreams. And that stuff always just makes me really pissed off. Specific, like, that's my dream, to own a house. That's what your dream is for people, to have things that people can't take from you. And
things come in handy.
And like it was a thread, which don't get me started on Twitter threads. So it's just this one person going on and on, right? Well, not on and on. It wasn't that long, but it was like 6 or 7 tweets. And one of the tweets was like, "You don't need to buy that house right now. You need to go on an adventure."
Wow, that's some good insight right there.
No, I want the house.
Usually people who can afford an adventure already have a house. So like,
I'll buy a haunted house. A bit of both. A house and adventure. I was feeling really jaded after I read that because it like got in my head like in the morning when I was reading Twitter. And so I was like, man, maybe I'm just a fucking curmudgeon. I can't enjoy nothing. So I was watching, and then like, while I was cleaning up, I was watching another one of my resting lists. And and the list this time was why this wrestling company TNA, should, because like they're going bankrupt or something, like why we should hope that they all stick around and that TNA like gets its shit together. And the first thing he said is like, well, first of all, it exists. And something that exists is better than something that doesn't exist, because something that exists can get better. And I was like, wow, that made me feel way better. If you exist, you could get better.
It's like the best argument against suicide. As long as you're alive, you can get better.
That goes for wrestling companies and people.
Oh, one thing I found out from the Dr. Drew video is that like it takes 2 things in life for you to be happy. You need to have a good technical skill, and you need to have wisdom. So like basically experience like of life.
You have to. An old guy would say that. You got to be old and smart.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I've like, wisdom's nice. I've thought a lot about it. Like, now that we're older, right?
Yeah.
In our 30s, like you look back now, you're like, oh, I wouldn't know that if it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, it's just experience.
That's wisdom, right? Well, It feels like wisdom when it's something you had to have happen. Now you're like, oh, I specifically
it's something
know.
that actually happened to you. So like, yeah.
Well, what was the other one? A technical skill.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you feel like you have any technical skills?
I mean, I can work on cars, kind of, and like.
Well, what does he mean by a technical skill?
Like, something, I guess that takes training.
Yeah, I guess so. Or I guess something
that you're proficient at.
I have lots of middling skills. Does that count?
If it's a skill, it counts.
Things that I could do okay at if I work hard on.
Yeah. If I'm really focused,
and I could skate by.
Totally. But yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that. How like you need to have work in your life to be happy, and like, I mean, I want to go back to school and like learn about biology again, and like maybe do something in medicine.
That's like a long-term plan, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes a lot of steps.
Well, what about the other part?
What other part?
There's technical skills, and then we said
wisdom and experience.
Do you think you have wisdom?
Yeah, I was gonna say that kind of detracts from my happiness. That my wisdom is like, I'm old enough to know that like I don't know shit. And like that brings me down sometimes. And like when I know I'm smart, but I don't have a lot of knowledge. Yeah. Like I know about a lot of stuff that I don't know about. And like, fuck.
So like you're not using your smarts to gain knowledge, I guess, and wisdom. Is that what you feel like?
Yeah. Maybe I can take some online courses or something.
Read a book. It'll make people feel smart.
Fuck. I gotta read. I don't read.
Reading's hard. It's like all I do. It's actually incredibly easy.
At least you do it.
That's all. Well, I grew up reading, so that's like my main intake of information is by reading it. But yeah, I read all the time, so I never understood how people don't like, man, I should read something. I don't know, maybe.
I mean, of course I read it. Like, I read posts on Reddit and, like, looking up advice and shit. But, like, I just don't read books.
I actually feel the same way, though, because I feel like I read all kinds of useless, dumb crap. Like, I want to write sci-fi kind of stuff, but I don't read sci-fi books at all. I could probably stand to do that.
Not even, like, comic books?
I don't read comic books at all. Why are there all these pictures? Put some more. You can fit more words in here. Because it's like, no, you needed to see that. No, I could imagine it. That's why I have books. They were doing fine.
There are better words than pow.
That's where I draw the line in media. As soon as you added pictures in these books, everything started falling apart. Like, you know how some people think the internet ruined society, and some people think like it was TV. Nope, it's when you start adding pictures inside of books.
Yeah, and eventually that led to people like picking up a book and like seeing that it didn't have pictures and like, what the fuck?
Where did my pictures go? This is dumb.
Seriously.
What makes me laugh? I don't remember if it was like Aristotle or whoever, you know, ancient Greek, Roman, whatever philosopher. But he said like books were like, no, you could only learn by having like a teacher speak in front of you. Like these books are stupid and they're never going to take off. Like literally sit books. Someone bitches about some new form of media.
Wow. For some reason, when you're talking to like the Greeks, reminded me of another thing they talked about in the videos. They talked about myths and how people need to believe myths in order to like work together or something.
I guess so.
I don't know. I gotta watch it again.
We got way off topic though. Oh yeah, I was saying, yeah, I feel like I'm not applying my brains enough a lot of the time. Because like I said, like I could be reading important stuff. It feels like even reading about Trump just feels like reading about trash. It's like I'm reading fucking tabloids now.
Yeah.
Did you know what Trump said? I don't care what he said. Unless he signed it with his name, then I'm worried. Because you can't, like...
It doesn't affect me.
Like, you can't worry about everything he says. You'd fucking die.
Yeah. It's like worrying about every Kim Kardashian tweet.
Yeah. Because that's really what it is. People worry about every single one of his stupid tweets. And, like, he gave, like, a commencement speech at some, like, college or something.
I saw that he mentioned that he's
he made it about himself again. Yeah.
He's the most, what was it?
The most unfair. Something was the most unfair to him. You should probably look that up. I don't care. Who cares?
It's not important.
Everything's about him. We knew that part.
We got the gist. He was an ass at the commencement speech. His first as president.
Never have I seen a president conduct themselves in... Oh, wait. He did it, yes. He did it like an hour ago.
I hate how when he talks, I saw a little clip of it, of him talking, and like, I hate how he does that thing with his hand where he's like making a point, and like, he thinks it's like, that's how you talk with your hands. And I'm like, you just do this. He looks stupid. I know that's bad for the podcast, the visuals of it.
So we still talking about happiness? What else was it? Did you have anything else in your notes about that? So
I liked how they talked about.
So we got to rank our happiness. So, okay, do you think your technical skills are making you happy?
No, I could be more skilled at something.
Do you think your
like,
wisdom?
Don't you ever think that like instead of doing your job, like you have a regular job, right?
Yeah.
And like, don't you think instead of doing that, you could be doing something productive, like doing something in science, or like
if we had parents that could put us through college, we would be in college.
Yeah.
Learning.
No, but like the contributing something, like working at a college or something.
Well, yeah, like also it just feels like at your job is not like contributing to anything. It just feels like
mindless work.
Yeah. Like if we could come up with that monkey serum, like in Planet of the Apes, we could just get monkeys to do our jobs.
Yeah, but then we gotta live with monkeys.
That's fine.
I'm not racist against monkeys.
Until they take my job.
Would that be speciest?
Yeah, man.
No, everything.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm speciest.
We gotta show them animals what for, right?
I remember I was watching a documentary about elephants and how smart they are. And then they had elephants that paint. Like they paint things with their trunks, like with a paintbrush in their trunks. And then people buy the paintings. And I was like, no, I do not support this. Human artist first. I will not support a single elephant until there are no more starving human artists.
That makes a lot of sense.
I draw the line there. Call me a bigot if you will.
Well, at least the elephants will.
We lost our entire elephant listenership.
Oh, boo fucking who.
All right. And do you think your knowledge is making, or no, your wisdom is making you happy?
Yeah, like I'm glad I've learned what I've learned so far, and like it just makes me want to learn more. Yeah.
That's good. So 1 out of 2.
Yeah, halfway there.
If you got 0 out of 2, you would have had to like kill yourself, I guess.
Just end it.
Well, this ain't getting no better. How we just discussed it.
I did the math, It checks out.
That's why I like that existing quote.
Oh, yeah.
Like, logically, that makes a lot of sense. We'll just work for the suicide hotline, and I'm going to show them all of my wrestling lists. So I'm still alive.
Yeah.
After no lucha and no basketball and no Powerless and no...
Don't remind me.
No Nintendo Switch.
I guess we should talk about... Did we do any, like... We did talk about Powerless on the podcast, right?
Yeah, we talked about it before. That's one of the things on my list. If we're ready to move on
then
from
we
your
should
topic.
Probably mention that it got canceled. Yeah. I mean, I'm bummed.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. Of course, I know a show I like is gonna get canceled. Yeah. What was the last show I liked? Andy Richter Controls the Universe? That was like 15 years ago. Anthony, get over it. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
That lasted 3 seasons though. They tried to keep that thing going. But it was a weird ass show. It was just never destined to make it. Like the live action Tick show. Remember that? It lasted like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Like everyone knew that wasn't going to work. How did it get 6 episodes? But of course it was great. What else? Mission Hill, 1 season.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I could have sworn that was on more.
Oh, and then I was tripping out because I was thinking about Mission Hill a lot since we watched the Brian Posehn special.
Yeah.
Because he's the voice in it. And I was thinking about, man, that was a long time ago. In Posehn's latest special, he's 50 now.
Yeah.
And then I was watching Steven Universe, and he's a cartoon character on that too.
Brian Posehn is?
Yeah, he's a character named Sour Cream.
Oh.
No, it's fine. His brother is named Onion.
Sour cream and onion.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, that all brings us back to Powerless being canceled. It didn't
even get a full season.
Yeah, Mission Hill got a full season, but I guess it's animated, so it's fine. But
well, yeah, they like make the whole thing.
That's another thing. They made more episodes of Powerless than even aired.
Yeah.
Like that
really bummed me out.
That's like a kick in the stomach.
Yeah.
It's like not only is your show crummy, but Like, even though it's done,
It's not even worth
putting literally anything else on is better
Yeah.
than airing another episode of this.
What else we got?
And then, like, I tweeted a complaint about it, and then someone just said, Powerless is just like a copy of this show I don't care about, so I didn't learn the name of. Well, in the tweet, it had the actual name of the show as a copy of, but I was like, I'm mad about Powerless. You can't even give me that, you jerk.
You gotta bring up some other shit?
I don't see a lot of sitcoms or, like, television shows that, especially ones like on NBC and in prime time, that, like, make me laugh. Like, all the good comedies are, like, on Netflix or Comedy Central, or even, like, HBO and Showtime now.
Yeah, you don't got a lot of good comedies on network TV. I mean,
and now they keep having reboots, too. Like, I just saw they're, like, bringing back Will and Grace.
They're bringing back Roseanne.
I hope that doesn't... Well, that's cool, but...
I can't imagine that running...
That had a crazy-ass ending at the end of Roseanne, though.
Yeah, didn't John Goodman die?
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
And they're bringing him back.
I'm back.
You know, it was all fine.
It was a dream.
They're gonna Twin Peaks and shit.
Yeah, I don't care if it got all... Because it got all crazy at the end, so they could just crazy it up to start the series again. One thing that was cool, because I do like Roseanne. It's like one of my favorite sitcoms. Now that I look back on like all the sitcoms I watched growing up.
I wasn't particularly fond of it.
I
was more Married with Children.
I watched any sitcom that aired between The Simpsons growing up. If you lived in Southern California, you'd see a Simpsons episode, then something that was in syndication, and then another Simpsons episode. From like, 1996 to like 2006 or something.
Yep.
Like every weekday.
Yeah, so many episodes.
Yeah, so that was 2 Simpsons episodes a day. Every weekday. People wonder why I can quote all the Simpsons.
It's a good regimen right there.
And one of whatever was on in between.
Yeah.
During the good times, it was like King of the Hill. But during the down times, it would be like Home Improvement.
Oh, God, I hated Home Improvement.
I watched the shit out of that. Well, like, that's something that you can never teach someone, is just the lack of options we had.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell someone, man, I hated that growing up. I've seen all of it.
Why? Because it was there.
That was it.
Yeah. Jerry Springer was always been so dumb to me. Just like people going on TV with their drama, and like other people care about it.
People do care, apparently.
People care about dumb shit.
And how long did Jerry Springer last? A lot longer than Powerless.
Yeah.
See, and now we're all nostalgic for all these other sitcoms.
I kind of had a feeling it was doomed from the beginning.
Do you think the WB can buy it?
Maybe.
They can use a comedy. Just they'll go through a time portal thanks to Barry, and then like they'll reboot the series, but like in the WB world, bam! Thank you, you're welcome. Powerless is back now on the WB.
I think it could work. They definitely could use more comedy.
That's the only way to save it. That's all I can think of. The WB already took Supergirl.
Yeah, but that was the same producers of
That's true.
Flash and Arrow.
Do you think Powerless would get more viewers or less viewers if it took place on the WB in their universe? In the WBDC?
Well, I would say get more. I mean, people who just like watch anything to do with superheroes like me, they'll like watch it just because it's got superheroes.
Yeah. And it's not like you're inserting it with like on ABC with Marvel's A Shield or something. I guess we're done talking about Powerless, right? Yeah. Boo.
Yeah.
Hope it comes out on like Blu-ray or something with the lost episodes.
Or go to Netflix.
I don't even think there was enough fan support to make a fucking DVD.
I wanted to talk about how, well, Dr. Drew is all about interpersonal connections. They talked about how, like, brains can change other brains just by interacting.
I just imagine two guys, like, headbutting each other over and over.
Anything? No.
Yeah, I think, like, people have to be around people. Even introvert like me, people like me, still have to be around people.
Yeah.
And want to be around people.
They kind of brought up like how like you basically have 5 people in your life that you spend the most time with. Dr. Wu mentioned that like has something to do with like your wiring growing up. The map of people's brains can kind of match, and that's why they would get along. Something like that.
Well, what does that mean? Like, if you do have 5 friends, like, do you have to? Or...
No, it's just common. You know,
like that's the average?
Yeah.
Does a TV count as a friend?
I hope so.
Now I've got 2 friends.
Like, I got Lena, because she's my wife, and then you, because, like, one of my best friends, and I have, like, 2 or 3 other friends, and the 5th person is kind of interchangeable with, like, certain family members, I guess. Well, yeah, I think even though I have, like, such a big family, I do have, like, generally select people that I spend the most time with.
Well, what was the talk by Dr. Drew called?
It was just an episode of Impact Theory.
Ah. Oh, was he on it? Like,
it's like a talk show, yeah.
Oh, so he was like the guest?
Yeah.
What was like, I guess, the subject?
Well...
Or the name of the episode?
Dr. Drew and his work talked about some personal stuff, but mostly it was about the things he does with, like, people with addiction, and they kind of talked about philosophy a little bit. And
then this stuff about happiness?
Yeah.
Were these, like, averages? Like, these are things he noticed happy people do?
No, just, like, having meaning in your life. Like, that goes back to, like, having work. Like, it's just... That's how you...
Sorry. I was thinking of my next joke. Because I just want to be like a motivational speaker. Like, get some meaning in your life! Now! How do you find meaning in life?
Especially when you get scared of being yelled at. Like that. No, but yeah, you talked about, like, if you want to live a flourishing life, you have to have meaning. And that's where the skills and the wisdom come into... to play, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I just like I said, I don't know how to talk about it. And I like how they talked about change, and he said there's like basically like 4 stages of change. You got pre-contemplative, contemplative, execution, and a maintenance. And like most people can't keep up the maintenance of, and that's why it can't sustain change. That's like me, like trying to get my life together, and like,
yeah, change is hard.
Yeah, that's why it's so easy to just give up.
I have a really comfy couch too, so
yeah. Plenty of TV to watch.
Yeah, what about all those movies we haven't seen? Wonder Woman comes out later, right?
No, it comes out in like 3 weeks.
Oh,
that's soon. From when we're recording,
we should see that, right? What if they mess it up?
I really hope they don't.
And
I'm really rooting for this one.
What makes me mad is now you have to like you know me. I've like Wonder Woman's my favorite. Well, like a lot of them are all my favorites. I'm fucking such a DC nerd because I'm like, Batman's great, but
Superman's great,
and of course the Flash.
Yeah.
Like the Flash, like it's hard to pick my favorite because it's either the Flash or Batman, right? It just depends on, like, if you don't want to be like everyone loves Batman, that kind of day, right?
Yeah, but now like Flash is pretty big too, so like.
Yeah. So then it's like, oh, well, Cyborg is fucking awesome too. So And now he's going to be in the movie. But like Wonder Woman is the shit too. Like ever since Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, she was basically the female Superman.
Yeah, but like instead of Superman grew up on a farm. It wasn't Sparta or nothing.
She's not a warrior.
Princess Diana was raised as a warrior.
Yeah.
So she'll just like, she doesn't even have to fight Superman. She'll just fucking hog tie him. Settle down. But then like, so I've been like a fan of Wonder Woman forever. Well, not forever, but since like I knew her character arc and such from Justice League. Right. But then what if the movie sucks? And then I'm going to say it sucks. And then I'm just a woman hating MRA gun nut. There's been like zero good anime this season. Like it's all trash.
So even Japan is starting to suck?
Well, no. Apparently I was watching a thing and apparently anime has sucked for like 15 years. Like there was like a big anime crash like in 2000, like mid 2000s. And then like a bunch of anime companies like went out of business and started just making safer anime and stuff, like safer, cheaper anime. And it's like, oh, I guess I missed out on all the good anime. So I guess everything I'm watching now was just a bunch of garbage. I don't know. I likes what I likes. Maybe I just don't know any better. I'm not a connoisseur of anime. For a long time, I watched the anime that was on television. Right? Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Fully Cooley. If it was on TV, I'd try to watch it. But, like, once the internet came, that's too much anime. As soon as, like, the floodgates open.
So much anime.
I watched a couple of series.
Basketball anime.
Oh, that was the best. Basketball anime. Well, it's called Kuroko's Basketball. This is great. It was just like Dragon Ball Z for basketball. But also I was just like, I was in love with how accurate it was to basketball. It wasn't like cartoonish.
Oh, like Space Jam.
Yeah, like, yes, these like Japanese high school kids, not even American high school kids, where, you know, basketball is like a very prevalent sport in high school.
Yeah.
Are going up for like monster dunks and stuff still, and like playing like unbelievable defense and stuff. So they're playing like NBA players, but it's not like out of this world. Like Space Jam, like Michael Jordan's arms stretching to make the dunk or whatever.
Body slamming each other.
There's like still storylines where like they have to rest players and stuff and bring in subs, and like real basketball things happen in
like
it.
Running plays.
Yeah, like they run plays, or like they have to just get it to the best player, and like the scores seem realistic. Like it'll be all intense. Like they'll have like a scene that plays out like where there's like maybe like 6 points scored overall, or like maybe even like 9 points sequence if like a player rains threes. But then when you go to the scoreboard, like it'll have like realistic scores, like because like say they like one team drains 3 threes after they were down, right? Bad. So like the score will be like 52-54 after their comeback, right? After 3 threes. Like everything feels realistic if you're like a real NBA kind of nerd or basketball fan. Like there's not a lot that'll like seriously upset you. Like it feels like the only thing is just like, I guess, obviously like the artistic
licensing.
Yeah. But I want to say like, of course it's like over the top, right? But like no one has like a move where they could actually shoot like energy beams or anything. Their special skill is that they could like do a step back jumper. But like the way they play it up, like for a step back jumper, they're like, I'm going to block this ball. Where'd he go? And he just took like a step back to shoot the basketball.
But it's all dramatic.
Yeah. That was an impromptu talk about that. I want to talk about Norm, but you haven't seen it yet.
I'll get to it. Oh, and if Infinity War does come out next year.
And it lasts forever? It's the Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
It lasts...
And just keep going.
It comes out in 2016 and ends at the end of time. So what's Infinity War about? What's the war? What's infinite about it?
Don't they fight Thanos?
Is Thanos infinite?
Yeah.
Is he the guy Doctor Strange fought?
Infinite strength.
Who did Doctor Strange fight?
He fought Dormammu.
Who's Dormammu?
I don't know.
Does he know Thanos? Are they friends?
Probably.
You'd think all these giant world obliterating heads would know each other.
I mean, yeah, even the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one.
Yeah, it's still the same galaxy, ain't it?
Yeah. Man, I can't wait to see Guardians of the Galaxy, the Guardians with the Avengers together. That's going to be bad.
Is that Infinity War?
Yeah, I think so. Should be, right?
How old will the tree be by then? He'll be like a teenage Groot that hangs out with Spider-Man. Is that the end of the podcast then?
Yeah, then we're done.
The end. Thanks for listening to the Bystanders Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/GameMusicForAll. You can find links and show notes from today's episode at thebystanderspodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram at The Bystanders Podcast and on Twitter at TBS Podcast. And you can support the show by subscribing to us at patreon.com/GenoBoost.